Welcome back to another episode of Just an Introvert podcast. I'm Abby.
And I'm Amy. And today we have a special guest in our interview series. His name is Matthew Pierce. He is a Christian satirical writer and has a podcast called Fun, Sexy Bible Time. I know that sounds crazy, but I discovered him a few years ago on his podcast, and he is hilarious. I mean, at least we think he's hilarious. If you have the kind of humor we have, you'll find out when you listen. But he agreed to be on, and so get ready for buckle up for a wild ride as we interview Matthew Pierce. All right, so we have a very special guest today, Matthew Pierce. Now, I discovered Matthew Pierce actually originally from Jessica Thompson. I was listening to her podcast, and she talked about you and being on your podcast. So I listened and I was laughing my head off. And so ever since then, I started following your podcast, which is tell us the name of your podcast.
It's called The Briefing with Al Mohler. It's actually called Fun, Sexy Bible Time. And Jessica and I actually dated for a little bit in
Oh,
the
gosh.
in the late '80s until she dumped me for the guy from Blink 182.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm sure she'll confirm that.
yeah. So that's a little bitter. We some bad blood there still.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll just
Because she said she was dating Jesus, and then a week later, she invited Tom DeLonge to the lock-in at the church across town. So bad blood.
Oh man, yeah, that's rough. Yeah, I'm sorry that happened. But anyway, we are excited to have you on our Just an Introvert podcast. I got to know Matthew a little more because I sent in a few stories that you guys read, you and Casey, which shout out to Casey, love her. And also I submitted some Christian music, played on my flute and piano, and you so graciously put it on your podcast. So
Well, anytime you have a podcast based on boner jokes and Song of Solomon, and you have a chance to put some classically trained, uh, fine musicianship at the beginning of the episode, you just have to do it. So we appreciated that.
hey, well, the feeling is mutual. So all right. Well, we always do the same two things at the beginning of our podcast. We have an icebreaker, which Abby does. So I'm going to let her go on with that.
Alrighty.
Let's
So,
go.
got your icebreaker. It's going to be what cartoon character would you switch lives with for a day?
What cartoon character would I switch lives with for a day?
Mm-hmm.
I would switch with um would s- I would switch with Bill Dotree from King of the Hill so I could stand in the alley and drink with Boomhauer, Hank, and Dale. And I just picked Bill because he's probably the least fun out of those three. So I just want to stand in the alley and just hang out with Hank.
Hey, sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
I can't refute that,
I,
Oh, go ahead.
I was tempted for Beavis and Butthead, but I can't really like step in as either one of them without ruining the chemistry.
Oh,
So
do you
I would like
relate
to.
to one of them more than the other?
Uh, I'm Butthead, yeah, because he's more of a voyeur of the human condition. He just likes to stand back and watch the madness unfold and chuckle to himself, which I think any introvert can relate to that.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
So,
Okay, so now to the would you rather, and I got inspired from your podcast when you and Casey do a lot of would you rathers. So this is based on the being in the bathroom, a
okay,
public bathroom,
okay,
and we just went on a road trip, my family and I, and we went to Yellowstone, saw a lot of nature. So on the inside of the public bathrooms, there was a lot of like nature facts or animal facts. So anyway, keep that in mind. So, would you rather be in a bathroom stall and turn the sound on your phone and make it sound like you're taking multiple pictures? Just click, 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 click.
am I? You said in the stall or the urinal?
No, in the stall. Like
Okay. All
nobody
right.
can see you.
Okay.
Or just start reading that fun fact out loud
Reading that fun. Oh, the okay.
on the bathroom stall door.
Um, I'd probably read the fun fact. That's pretty tame because then you're just bored and you're just reading it out loud. If you're taking pictures, yeah, it could go several different ways. So
It's true. True. Would you use a weird voice or just your normal voice?
uh, I uh, I I might use a different voice just to keep it interesting.
Yeah.
Um, uh, might use Alex Jones's voice to just Old Faithful, product of the deep state. Why does it erupt every 19 minutes?
Yes, you should definitely do a voice if you do that for sure. Okay.
That's the
All
first
right.
time somebody's done Alex Jones on this podcast.
It's first time.
It
First
won't be.
time.
It won't be the last time today.
Oh, okay. Well, good. Looking forward to that. All right. So we're going to get started with our questions to get to know you
Okay.
better. So
First of all, gross as an introvert.
I
Why
know,
would why would anyone want to get to know anyone?
we have to do it.
Okay.
Be
All right.
weird if we just, had you do Alex Jones voice the whole time, or maybe not. I don't know. Okay. So who are you and what do you do?
I'm a giant human being who lives in the backwoods of Alabama, and I occasionally write satirical evangelical articles on the interwebs, and that's kind of what I'm known for.
Awesome. And how tall are you?
I am 6'8", and I weigh somewhere between 500 and 700 pounds. Um, I'm just a large man. Played college
Um,
basketball, and I touched the ball on several occasions.
oh,
So
It's an accomplishment. All right, so in that vein, what did life look like for you growing up, being 6'8" from presumably, 5 years old?
Well, close. Life was terrifying growing up. This was like the 90s. We were homeschooling. Janet Reno was out to get us. Bill Clinton was sending her out to round up all the homeschoolers and, put us on trial for daring to defy the new world order that was going to come in the year 2000. Um, so, yeah, there's a lot of like kind of growing up in the pseudo fundamentalist adjacent homeschool movement. It was a blast.
sounds like it.
It's pre-internet, so couldn't really like just hop on and verify anything, and it was just you know you go to homeschool conferences and say, "Oh, Bill Clinton killed 2 children in Hope, Arkansas," and there was no way to refute that. So
There's a voice again.
hmm.
Um, okay. Did you ask the last question, Abby?
I did, yes.
Okay. Okay. Are you an introvert or extrovert?
Oh, I'm a Christian.
Okay.
I'm an introvert.
Is that what determines it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm generally a godly man, so I'm an introvert.
Okay. Okay. Solid.
Absolutely. And was humor always a big part of your life growing up, or did that develop later on?
No, I think it came after the despair and general heartbreak of life.
Trauma
Just
response? I get
yeah,
it.
trauma response. So I remember being raised on like the Three Stooges because they
Mhm.
were in black and white and therefore safe from worldliness. Which there's a lot to unpack there of like people getting hit in the face with uh, you know glass jars, and somehow that's okay, but you know the TV show Friends was not okay, but whatever. Friends sucked anyway. Um, so yeah, I mean, I was exposed to humor growing up from like weird angles like that, and like public television shows, like those weird like British comedies, like the "Are You Being
Mhm.
Served" that pop up. Like, why is that on public television? Um, things that were quote unquote safe.
Yeah.
Um, I remember watching. We were homeschooled, so got to watch a lot of daytime TV. Remember watching I Love Lucy most days growing up. So, uh, but I wouldn't say that was really funny until, um, you know, life kicked me in the nuts a few times, and then, uh, you learn to cope and you learn to survive and you learn to find humor in things to survive. So,
Yeah. So tell us, how did you meet your wife?
started a Bible study in my apartment in college for the express purpose of meeting babes,
As one does.
as one does. It worked.
It worked. Love that.
And then what came first for you, writing the satirical articles or writing your first book?
I kind of the story of my writing life. I've always just kind of been in the wrong time period. Like, probably would have done pretty good as a newspaper article writer, but came too late for that. Probably should have waited until like the print on demand technology popped up to start publishing, but it was too early for that. So I kind of fell into that early aughts, like, hey, pay this strange company $800 and have them publish your book for you, and then you have to buy a bunch of the books, and you can say you're a published author, but really you just paid for all of that. So I did a few of those, and I really wish I hadn't, because they weren't really that good. So I published self-published books before I really got into the satire.
Hmm.
How many books did you self-publish?
4 or 5. They were all really short.
Yeah, I've read a couple.
Which ones have you read?
Uh, I just had it pulled up on my Kindle. The homeschool like sex machine one.
Oh, that one's fine. Like, I'll stand by that one. But there were a few before that that are out of print now that were just like, not, they were like bad books, but they were just like, not sure this really needed to be published. Like, this could have just been a practice run.
Practice run, yeah. So what article to date have you gotten the most comments or feedback from?
Well, funny you should ask, Amy, because about every 6 months or so, somebody stumbles upon my article, "Should Christian women be allowed to have butts?" And it gets kicked up and sent all over the place. And in the last few days, it's been getting a ton of traction again. And, people will share, be like, "Can you believe the fundamentalist, what they would say? Like, what do you want me?" And it's, those are the people that really tickle me, is like the progressive people who don't understand that it's a joke. And it's like, hey, congratulations on being woke, but you're also an idiot to not pick up that this is satire.
Seriously, I know. I
So
just that yeah. That's funny that it keeps getting brought up too. Like it's just
that's what she said.
she said. 10 minutes in. I was wondering when that would
Nice.
happen.
I'm not going to rest until you have to bleep something.
Love it. Love it.
Just for me.
Um, so that was our next question. What percentage of your readers do you think don't realize it's satire?
That's tricky. The regular readers do, obviously, or
Yeah.
else they wouldn't keep coming back. The It's hard to say. Like, every time the butts article gets kicked up again, I get incredulous comments left on the, "Is this a joke? What am I supposed to do with this?" So, and like, and a lot of times you can tell it's somebody from a foreign country, and like
Mm.
they're really just out of the loop on it. So I
Yeah.
typically don't even reply to those. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know where to begin to help somebody like that, nor do I care enough.
I was gonna say, do you even reply in general? Do you interact?
I mean, if I can make myself laugh in doing it, maybe, like, um, but most of the time I don't. Somebody, I got hang on, I'll see if I can find it. I got a uh, really special comment a couple days ago. Uh, I pray that the great evils of pancreatic and bone cancer find you and your spouse both, and your prayers are answered like Tim Keller's were when he got sick.
Wow.
You deserve the mass apostasy of your children and grandchildren. You deserve your church slowly growing cold and silent after years of loss and deaths, with fewer and fewer of you to carry the caskets every year.
Wow.
Well, they just kept going.
Yeah, that comment written by Beth Moore, actually.
She gets spicy sometimes.
So I didn't know if it was coming from the right or the left, but towards the end it says, "I feel so fortunate to be alive to watch you Christians pull the roof down on your heads. I will gleefully watch for your church and family on the Roy's Report in Christianity Today." So
Oh,
Okay.
hey. So
There we
hate
have
from
it.
both sides, huh?
yeah, I was gonna reply to it, but the abuse filter caught it and deleted it before I could. So
Yeah, yeah, it just kind of kept going and going. They could have just, I thought you're done after those first two
Yeah,
sentences.
no.
Like, wow, and no.
I don't know. I didn't even read it all. Like there was more to it than that. But
Jeez. Well, that's special.
another satisfied customer.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Wow. I get a little pushback on some of my teacher videos I do, mainly on Facebook, just from people who obviously don't teach and just, I don't know. Sometimes I usually don't respond, but occasionally I'm like, thank you for making that wonderful point. I don't know. I don't want to argue. I just want to make them feel dumb, but that's the most I get.
I'm seeing a lot of news articles lately about like female teachers hooking up with 13-year-old boys. I feel like you've been left behind on this trend.
Yeah, no, mm, yeah, I'm not gonna even, I don't even know how to respond to that.
That's fine.
Fair enough. Okay, well, what inspired you to start a podcast?
Oh, I don't know. It was 2015. I felt like everybody was doing it, and so I started one, and then I realized I wasn't very good at it, and then I was like, I don't care. I'm just gonna keep doing it.
Relatable.
So
Where did the title come from?
I was attending a Reformed church at the time, and their Sunday school would somebody mentioned in the Sunday school class that they were starting a new Sunday school class for singles and they didn't know what to name it. And they asked our Sunday school class for suggestions. And with a straight face, I said, you should call it Fun, Sexy Bible Time. And the associate pastor who was in there who asked the question just kind of made this face like, I went to seminary and nothing prepared me for this moment.
That's awesome. That's fantastic.
Yes. Do your parents or family or anyone read your writings or listen to your podcast? And how does that go for you?
No, let's just say no.
Okay. Keeping it safe.
We have sort of an uneasy understanding that like I do something in the creative realm and they don't ask too many questions and I don't
Yep. Yeah,
push
that's
it
fair.
out there.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Yep.
Yeah, you could say that.
That's good policy.
Speaking of Bill Clinton,
Oh man. Okay. Are your friends mostly introverts, extroverts, or a little of both?
I don't really have any friends, so I've kind of
Solves that.
I've kind of kind of taken care of that problem. Um, Casey's an introvert. She's my podcast friend.
Yes.
I mean, and friend in real life too, but
Yeah.
she's an introvert.
Yeah,
Our
definitely.
podcast probably shouldn't work as well as it does because we're too grouchy, touchy, um, just not always pleasant introverts, but we get along.
Hey, Abby and I,
Gonna say.
we complain about a lot too, and we get along fantastic.
Yeah, we have an ongoing joke that the once we finish recording an episode and we just start yapping about nonsense, we need to have a Patreon of our after hours conversations. It's a we'd get in a lot of trouble, but man, would it be entertaining.
Well, the joke that Casey and I have is that our friendship probably shouldn't work, but neither one of us really want to make another friend. So, because that sounds
Yep.
gross. So, we might as well just stay friends.
All right. Do your wife and daughters think that you're funny?
Uh, kind of sometimes, but not really. Um,
How old are your daughters, by the way?
16, 12, and 8.
Okay.
So the 16-year-old is the one thing I'm trying to, I'll swerve on this question. The one thing I'm trying to impart to each of my kids, but especially the 16-year-old, is a sense of gallows humor of no matter how bad things get, find a way to laugh at it.
Hmm.
I just think that's incredibly useful.
Hmm.
And I like the idea of teaching my kids that, like, hey, life kind of sucks and it's gonna get dark, and it's, no matter how much money you have or how many people around you that love you, like, it's gonna get dark and it's gonna get frightening, and like you have to be able to, on the day that everything's falling apart, just find something inappropriate to laugh about.
Yes. That,
And that's what I'm trying to impart to my 16-year-old, and I do that by feeding her increasingly inappropriate jokes just to make her laugh, and nothing like, lewd or like that, but like just kind of pushing that line a little bit of like, this is a little bit mean, but I'm gonna laugh, I'm gonna make a joke and laugh at it anyway.
gradually, you're gradually working up to.
Yeah, because my I don't know, like when I was a kid, I don't know, like humor was policed pretty, not just my family, but like in the church, like
Yeah.
everything was very sanitized, and Shonda Pierce and Mark Lowry, and G-rated, 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 and I just don't feel
Mhm.
like that served any of us that well. Like
Yeah.
you have to be able to laugh at things that are horrifying, and
Yeah.
I think that's, I could get into the theology of that, but I think that's a gift God gave us, and just to be able to laugh at things that are, you know, awful.
Agree.
Yeah.
Agree.
As a nurse, we have a saying, if you're not laughing, you're crying.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And that's sometimes that's how you get through your day.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely.
All
Yeah,
right.
I agree.
Well, now we're going to transition to something a little different because I thought this would be fun to do because we all went to school, did have schooling different. I was public school. Abby, you went to private school, and Matthew was homeschooled. So I thought I'd ask some questions about uh, things that would have happened in school and see what your experience was. So I'm going to start with the public
All right.
school point of view. So the first one is, were you ever the teacher's pet? So I have an example of I was in a history class in high school and I loved history and I loved the teacher, so I was totally into it. And the teacher was asking a question one time, and of course nobody's raising their hand. Nobody cares. Most people didn't like history. And I kept raising my hand and giving the answer, and he was getting really frustrated with everyone else. And he finally went, why, if you guys were a little more like Amy, and the minute he said that, I was like,
Nice.
yeah, he did me no favors there because then I was the big nerd. So I guess I was, but I didn't like being called out on it. So that was my experience. Abby, how about you?
Well, my dad was a teacher at the school that I went to, so I kind of didn't have a choice because I couldn't get away with anything at school that wouldn't follow me immediately home. So I kind of had to play that on. But also, I went to a small private Christian school, and everyone knew everyone's teachers, and we were like, as I got older, like Facebook friends with all your teachers, and they come over on the weekends. So it was a very weird dynamic. Now looking back, I'm like, yeah, that was a little interesting, but
I think I read
um,
some articles about that.
yep, yeah, it's like, no wonder that happens. But anyways, um, yeah, so I feel like it was a little bit of a facade to just survive. But I think had I been in a more public school, I don't think I would have. I think I would have been a little more okay with getting in trouble. But
Gotcha.
yeah.
All right, Matthew, were you ever the teacher's pet?
If I was, it was only for a brief period before one of my younger siblings took the title.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. Oh, by the way, Matthew, how many siblings do you have?
I've got 3 younger siblings.
Okay. All right.
It was, we weren't very good homeschoolers to only have 4 children. Um, It
It's kind
was
of
probably one of my parents' greatest failures to not have the entire cargo van full of children.
So you
uh,
didn't have to upgrade.
Mhm.
wow. Yeah, I can see that. All right, next question. Who did
Okay.
you eat lunch with at school? I was a band nerd, so I ate in the band room with all my band friends. And then, so I dated Niles, and he was 2 years ahead of me. And then I made friends with all of them. And then when they graduated, then I had to be at the school 2 years more with people I didn't know or like. So that sucked. But I was with the band. So, um, Abby, how about you in private school? What'd you do?
I mean, I just kind of ate with whatever friend group I was in. I feel like not understanding my introversion, I was just kind of a social chameleon. So I just kind of figured out where to go and vibed with it and kept on going. But I don't feel like it was ever just always the standard lunchroom. I don't ever remember going and like sitting in the bathroom eating by myself or anything that
Okay.
bad. But yeah.
Gotcha. All right, Matthew, where did you eat lunch at?
Uh, right next to my siblings. And by the way, I've seen pictures of Niles when he was younger. Amy, you were in fact at the cool kids table if you were eating with Niles.
It was true. It's true. I attracted the older guy, and so yeah. Okay. How did you react if a teacher called on you to answer a question when your hand wasn't raised? Me, freaked out, total panic, hated it. Abby?
Same. Yeah, I would if I could get out of it and fake some sort of reason to leave, I would, but other than that, yeah, it was not a fun time.
Okay, Matthew.
I guess just start crying, maybe. I don't know.
Did your parents call on you a lot or your siblings?
I think you're kind of misreading the homeschool experience that I had. This was not like a classroom setting. This was more like a, hey, let's take a break from I Love Lucy, and you take the chemistry textbook into your room and don't come out until it's the lesson's done.
Self-taught. Nice.
There you go.
I also had to go to homeschool classes though, so
Mm,
where they where they would tell us things like this is the last generation of American children who will know how to read and write
gotcha. Gotcha.
because Bill Clinton is ruining the public school system.
Yes, I heard that a lot growing up too. He was definitely the devil. How about you, Abby? Did you hear a lot of negativity with Bill Clinton?
I did. In regards to your husband, I remember finding out your husband Niles leaned a little bit more on the Democrat side, and I had a full panic that my uncle was going to hell. But I remember just like, what? I didn't know how to absorb that information. So I that was a pivotal moment. But
Yes, that's funny. Okay. Did you ever get in trouble at school? I really never did. I was a rule follower. I do remember one time in third grade, we were on the floor. The teacher must have been reading a book, and I must have been talking, and she's maybe gave me a few warnings. I don't know. And she said, "Okay, Amy, you're gonna line up at the end of the lunch line," and that's just like horrible to do. But at the time, they would always line up hot lunch first and then cold lunch last. And I always brought cold lunch. So when we lined up, I could see on her face, like, oh, that didn't go how I thought it would go. Because I had to be in the back anyway. So anyway, but rarely. How about you,
yeah.
Abby?
Yeah, same. I was a rule follower. The one time I remember getting in trouble was when we had this teacher who he just would like put videos on and not really do a whole lot. And I was sitting next to one of my friends and we were talking and he just goes, like he looks at us, he goes, "Would you guys like to finish your conversation outside?" And I was like, "Yeah, that sounds good." So we stood up and we just sat outside for the rest of the class. That landed me in some trouble, but I was proud of that.
That's pretty awesome. How about you, Matthew? Did you get in trouble a lot?
Can I swerve here?
Yes.
Okay, so my senior year, I went part time to a private Christian school,
Absolutely.
so I could be eligible to play sports. And I'd never been in a classroom setting before, and I'd never really been around friends like that before. Um, so like I was just kind of doing my own thing, and we had a substitute teacher come in to one of the classes that I was in, and I thought it would be funny. This was before, it was a long time ago, but also I don't care that this makes me look bad. Uh, we thought it'd be funny if I pretended that I was deaf, and I had a friend give me like fake sign language the whole class period. So like the substitute teacher would say something, and then she would have to stop as my friend gave like gibberish sign language to me. And like she was so convinced that it was real. She kind of thought that I was like faking, but she was too scared to call me out on it.
Yeah.
So she would like she'd talk and then she'd stop and wait for the sign language. And then she'd say something else and stop and wait for the sign language translation.
That's
And
amazing.
the coup d'etat, or you know, the pinnacle of the prank was when the bell rang. I just sat there and I sat in the chair for like 3 minutes while everybody else got up and pretended like I didn't realize that the bell rang. And so it was just me and the substitute teacher just playing this game of chicken, staring at each other. And she
You
was
really
like,
committed to the bit.
I was committed to the bit until finally my friend came back in for like 3 minutes and tapped me on the shoulder and gave me fake sign language and said, "It's time to go. It's time to go." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I got up and left. Was that insensitive? Was that ableist? It absolutely was. And I will also say that it was really, really funny.
Oh my
So
goodness.
I apologize to no one.
Do you remember any of those fake sign language signs?
Well, I wasn't giving them. My friend was the one that was giving them, and it was just like a
Okay.
lot of like drawing in the air, like with his fingers. And yeah,
That's pretty amazing.
shout out Jesse Uten. Uh, hope you're
That's
doing okay.
hilarious.
So yeah, I
Okay.
guess that's something I should have got in trouble for, but did
Yeah.
not.
But
So
did not. Gotcha. Gotcha. All right. Did you ever go to any school dances? Niles and I, he asked me to the winter dance before that was right before we started dating. My freshman year, his junior year, and I have the awkward picture to prove it. Maybe I'll post it when we put this episode on. But after that, we were kind of contrarians. I learned that from you, Matthew, by the way. I always uh, didn't want to do like what everybody else was always doing. And I remember you saying that one time on your podcast. I go, yes, that's me. So everybody's going to prom, and we're like, nope, we're going to go to Sacramento. And the next year, nope, we're going to go to Phantom of the Opera. So we always did something else. So I think I went to one dance. So how about you, Abby? Did you go to any school dances?
I went to a Christian school. There were no dances.
That's true.
Dancing is a sin and it leads to babies. Of course not.
So, so no dances for
No
you.
dances, events, but
Was there
not dances.
any kind of homeschool dances, Matthew?
not while I was there. The one year that I went to the Christian school, like kind of like Abby, they had a banquet. It was not a
Hmm.
prom.
Yeah.
Prom is where people take out their privates and sin.
Yep.
So it was a banquet, and of course no dancing. And you were, if you've read Homeschool Sex Machine, Amy, you know this story, so I won't tell it at length. But we went to a banquet where we ate some horrible catered food, and the entertainment was this sweaty fat man who did a one-man performance of the story of Jonah. It's like a one-man play.
Fantastic.
And you know, he was like in the just, you know, having this great monologue with God of, you know, like, don't send me to Nineveh, and then like getting down on the floor and wallowing around, you know, miming being eaten by the whale.
Oh
Was
my
he
God.
was he performing as Jonah and the whale simultaneously?
Well, like he was Jonah and God, and then Jonah being eaten by the fish. And I remember he had like this headband on, and he would, that was his costume change, was when he was Jonah, he had to put the headband on. When he was talking as the voice of God, he'd rip it off real quick and talk like this.
Did he
That's
get the
great.
story right, or did you have to correct him?
Good question. I was sitting within several feet of a human female at that point, so my brain was scrambled,
Okay.
and I was not on theology patrol at that point.
Say no more. Say no more. All right. What club sports did you participate in? Me, marching band. Abby, did you participate in any?
I was never a fan of participating, but again, small school, you kind of need to It's not the competition of like who's going to make it on the team, but it's like, do we have enough people to play a game? So it was kind of forced participation or whatever your friends were doing. I did some sports. I did that 1 year of flute because you did flute, Amy, and I wanted to be like you, but it was horrible. So I didn't enjoy any of my participation times, but I
Gotcha.
tried.
You tried.
I
How
tried.
about you? Club or sports,
Well,
Matthew?
I know you think I'm going to say basketball, but the truth of the matter is, I was a championship Bible quizzer, and I have the trophies to prove it. So I guess you could say I was kind of a big deal.
A very big deal. Do you remember the hardest question you had to answer at one of those Bible quizzes?
Well, it would have just been a quotation question where you had to quote certain verses. So, which not a big deal when you're a champion because you have the book memorized. But for lesser quizzers, it would have been an issue.
Did that impress any of the ladies?
What does your heart tell you?
Well, yeah.
Your heart is probably telling you the correct answer right now.
Okay, last one. Who was your school mascot? We were the Spartans. Our high school mascot was the Spartans. Abby, what was yours?
We were the Lions.
The Lions. Okay.
Hmm.
Did you have a mascot, Matthew?
Well, yeah, the last year that I went to a Christian school, Eagles.
Okay,
Woo!
but if your homeschooling environment had a mascot, what would it be?
We belonged to a co-op, and I'm trying to remember what the co-op mascot was. We had no sports teams, obviously, because this was like pre-Tebow, so this was like before homeschoolers played sports. Um, but we did have homeschool band. Fifth chair clarinet right here, by the way. Um, I'm trying to remember what the co-op. I think it was Crusaders, maybe.
Mm,
It
sounds on brand.
was, yeah, this was like late 80s North Alabama. Um, so yeah, I think it was the Crusaders.
Yeah. We have a Christian school in town. That's the Crusaders.
Hmm.
It's got to be Crusaders, Lions, or Eagles, basically.
Yep.
Yeah. That sounds about
Maybe
right.
maybe Warriors. If Crusaders is problematic, they'll just change it to Warriors.
True, true. Okay, and now we have a few rapid fire questions for you, Christian edition. Since we all grew up in the Christian space, these should be familiar to you. So, Abby, you want to do the first one?
Sure, let's do it. Awanas or Pioneer Club?
Are these for me?
There for
Yep,
you.
yep, for you.
Okay. Well, I grew up in the charismatic church, so it was called Royal Rangers for us.
Oh, my bad. I did not
Okay.
place.
Yeah, but I guess Pioneer Club is closer to Royal Rangers, so I guess that would be the answer.
Okay,
But it's all basically the same.
true, true. Okay, Larry the cucumber or salty?
Oh, salty. I was pre Veggie Tales. I was in a salty play one time at church. I forget the name of it, but it was one where he like appears in two kids' bedroom, which that's a different time.
Yeah, that sounds wrong just when you're saying it.
Is Salty's private the bookmark? Is that how he makes baby salties? Like he takes the bookmark out and puts it in Saltina's pages?
I never really thought about it.
Uh, Makes the most sense though.
It does. It does. Now I'm going to look at bookmarks differently. Thank you.
Will this be bleeped or do I need to keep going?
I
That'll be up to Amy's discretion as she edits. So
I
That's fine. I just want to give you something that's going to have to be
fantastic.
edited out.
I'm probably not going to.
Oh man. Okay.
All right, we've got the next one: church potluck or church picnic?
Ooh. Okay. All right. It's all about where can I get a better chance to not talk to a babe. Um, I'm going to actually say potluck because with a picnic, the babes are just going to go off and they'll be gone. In the potluck, at least you're kind of sequestered in the fellowship hall. So at least in theory, you've got a chance to go up and sit next to somebody or talk to somebody.
A little more contained.
Yeah.
Good point. Good
Yeah.
point. Okay. Michael W. Smith or Stephen Curtis Chapman?
Um, I mean, that's kind of the eternal question here. You really can't go wrong with either. Michael W. Smith has got the higher ceiling, with some of his songs. You could also make the case that Stephen Curtis Chapman, it's kind of like the Michael Jordan versus LeBron argument. Jordan's ceiling was maybe a little bit higher in a way, but like LeBron over the course of his career had a better career. But to be a contrarian, I'll just say Stephen Curtis Chapman.
Okay. Okay. Solid.
All right. And then youth group all-nighter or church camp?
Okay. Not allowed to go to either, obviously, because church camp, there's rumors that there's dating going on there and not enough supervision by a long shot. And youth group all-nighter, not allowed to go to that either, because what are we teaching these kids by having them stay up all night? A lot of dark corners in the youth annex. And who are the adults there? What, just the youth pastor and his smoking hot wife? Like, that's not enough to keep eyes on everybody.
He's too busy wanting to make out with his smoking hot wife.
And I mean, you can't blame him, but still.
True.
And also had a lot of periods of my adolescence where I was not allowed to go to youth group at all because my parents did not like the look of some of those kids in the youth group. Very worldly.
Yeah, that can be a problem for sure. Okay. Mission trip to Mexico for a week or host a missionary family at your house for a week?
Oh, we're definitely hosting. There's no chance because Mexico is where those public schoolers go for spring break, and they are taking their bookmarks out and waving them all over the place in Mexico. So we will host the missionary family.
Okay.
Safer choice. All right. The Testaments mints or the Jesus Saves Me sweet cream hand. I'm reading this wrong. Sweet cream hand candies?
Hard
candies.
Those are a real thing, by the way.
Okay, I was gonna say
Yeah.
might be too young for this, but yeah.
Testaments for sure. I'm picking up Testaments at the Baptist bookstore, right next to the scratch and sniff smiley stickers and new song cassettes. So
okay, I know exactly where you're talking. I know, I can picture it in my mind. Our bookstore too had not just music, and then behind you they had like the Thomas Kincaid gallery. So it was,
did it smell like urine?
Oh,
I could explain that joke for people who don't know about Thomas Kincaid, but I don't think I will. I'm just gonna let it stand.
look it up. Look it up if you don't know. Yeah, I learned it from you, so thank you.
Learned it from you, Dad.
Okay, last one. Modest is hottest or ring by spring?
Well, they kind of go together, don't they? I always dreamed of meeting one of the Ring by Spring girls. It turns out I did not, in fact, meet her. I guess until the very end of college, but I guess for sheer power, we'll go Modest is hottest because that carries from youth group through Christian college, just the whole experience.
I definitely heard that. Did you hear that growing up, Abby?
Oh, yes, all the time.
Yeah, we're all familiar. All right, well, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, you ask Abby if she heard it. We went to Six Flags one time and we came back home with my family. And as a man, obviously I don't have to watch what I wear because women don't have eyes.
Mm-hmm.
They're not visual. They can't see. But I remember my mother telling me, I just don't know. I don't know what we're going to do. You just walk. I got my sons walking around and there's just women out there with their breasts hanging out. And that was the beginning of a little period where my libido totally died for, having to listen to that speech. But
I
so
love your mom's voice.
I got the modest hottest speech, even though I don't have any parts that have to be covered. I got it as the man somehow.
That's the man. You couldn't escape it.
Could not escape it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, this leads us to the very end, and we always do two things. The first one is awkward moments. So, do you have an awkward moment to share with us that happened to you recently or just in your life?
Recently, well, I tripped and fell the other day at work, but nobody saw it. So, if an introvert makes a fool of himself and nobody's there to witness it, did it actually happen?
True, true.
I don't know. I'll reach back into the archives and go to a time in church when I was 16 and I was playing clarinet in the praise band, which was just that's a sentence in and of itself. And there was a girl that was visiting the church and she played clarinet and I was trying to get her to come play clarinet with me in the praise band, and she understandably had no interest in doing that. So I saw her, she came back to church, and this was after I invited her, and I went up to her and I had this like completely misplaced homeschool swagger, thinking that was pretty cool, and I was not. And I went up to her and I started to say, "Hey, did you bring your horn?" But I lost my nerve right at the last second, and I tried to say clarinet instead. So what came out was, "Hey, did you bring your corn?" And I just kind of stood there like, "What did I just say?" And I just kind of slowly backed away,
Oh,
retreated for the
yeah.
next several years.
Yep.
That reminds me of the boy at Chipotle that went viral asking about praising the corn, excited about the corn, and then they make
Oh,
a
yeah.
song about it.
Yes.
Could have made a song about your thing.
Mm-hmm.
The original.
The OG.
And then we always end with a recommendation. So it can be a book, movie, a food, just something that you're into lately that you want to share.
Okay. Well, I'm a big fan of spicy Doritos right now.
Mm.
Mm.
So I'll recommend spicy Doritos, and just theological material of should Christian women have butts? Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Let's just bring this out in the open, have discussions. I agree.
Also the newsboys. Nothing bad will ever happen to the newsboys. So
Newsboys, yes. Solid group. Well, this has been an adventure. I told Abby this would be a fun one. And so thank you for agreeing to be on our podcast. We're hoping that your clout will give us the boost we need to really make it in the market.
Uh,
well, you know, my mother would just like to say, "You girls are so special," and I just have a spirit of love for both of you.
Oh, I feel better already.
Wonderful.
Now, you're not good enough to date my son,
Yeah.
but you're still pretty good.
Oh, well, thank you for coming on, Matthew. We had so much fun. And where can people find you?
Just go ahead and Google Christian women butts and see what comes up. My Substack is called Evangelical Think Pieces, and uh, have fun. Have fun. Just log on, leave me a mean comment. It's 1,000 words long, and we'll go from there.
And of course, make sure to check out his podcast, Fun, Sexy Bible Time. And I'm gonna try to send some music again. I kind of got out of it, but
It's been a long time. I was thinking about that the other day, and I was like, well,
it has
she's got
been.
her own show.
Yeah, yeah. I'm kind of a big deal right now, but no, I think I'll have some. I think I'll have some time. I have one in the works. I just haven't
It was
gotten
a Newsboys song, wasn't it? And you had to shelve it.
it.
You were doing a piano and rendition of Shine, and you had to put it on the back burner.
We did.
Well, hey, thank you guys for having me.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks for
you.
being here.
Thanks for being here. All right. We'll see you next time. Bye.